So some people out there think that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is not a prequel. I have proof that it is. If you actually go through the whole game again, you will hear all sorts of things. And if you're a person like me who loves storytelling and loves to debunk things, which I'm sometimes pretty good at, you will understand that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 takes place before Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and that Five Nights at Freddy's 3 will take place before Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Here is a bunch of proof. In the second night in the call, you can hear the phone guy, do you remember Foxy the Pirate? What was his name, Foxy? Yeah, Foxy, that call, that piece of the call right there, that shows that he's remembering something from his childhood. He's remembering how Foxy used to be all, happy and stuff, how Foxy used to be normal. He's remembering something from the past, how he said he was always my favorite. Yeah, he was always his favorite when he was younger. It was in the past. Not when Foxy was all normal and stuff. No, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 takes place before. In Five Nights at Freddy's... Now, here's another one. In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, everything looks all, really cool, right? Well, from what I know, the time separation from Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2 weren't that, far from each other. So, that would mean, how could they go from something so hideous and so small in Five Nights at Freddy's 1... and clearly would have a bit of a low budget, when in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 they had an extremely high budget and went all out. Exactly. They had a high budget until the place got shut down in the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which led to them wanting to bring it back in a short amount of time, which they even said, we hope that we can see their return soon. It was soon. They used the amount of money that they had left and brought it back with something that didn't look all too good. Sorry. Another point. In the beginning of the game, the phone guy seems absolutely clueless. Absolutely oblivious that the animatronics can even, get to his office, because maybe throughout the game series they're getting more difficult. And I know that in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 they were a lot more stronger, and it's a lot more difficult, but maybe that's because, again, they had a bigger budget, so they made them smarter and more kid-friendly. I don't really know how to, say all this right now, but... Sorry. Where was I? I'm rambling. I like to ramble. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he doesn't sound worried, but in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, he sounded worried about something. He sounded like he was hiding something, and the second one, it was oh, blah, blah, blah. From what we know, this should be impossible. The animatronic's getting into his office. He takes the day shift now. Yeah, from what we know, this should be impossible. And, yeah, that sounds okay, this is impossible. For Five Nights at Freddy's 1, I'm pretty sure he does at least say that it is a little bit possible. He never says that this shouldn't be possible. Also, in the sixth night of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he talks about what sounds like the bite of 87. Which, if people realize, and he said, there was another Freddy Fazbear suit and stuff, that's Golden Freddy. The bite of 87... and the murder happened in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which led to them having to shut down and then rebuild in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I think the smell came from the other games. They were all possessed. The murder happened in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, while in the beginning, Fred Fazbear's place. That's going to be a whole other story I'll add on. I think there's only going to be about 3 games, the Freddy Fazbear trilogy. The Fazbear trilogy or something. That's just my guess. These are all my theories, but they make sense. Dang it. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that. There is a lot more to it. If you just go through the game, a lot of things will connect. You gotta go through 1 and 2. You will realize that it all makes sense if you just start realizing that it is a prequel. And just believe it is, because the story's cooler that way. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is cool. We're gonna get a third, someday, so, yeah.